What's up guys, it's Tiny Terror here, and today we're going to be doing a discussion on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the first time I've ever done a discussion on this channel, so let's see how this goes. If you like it and you enjoy it, please like and subscribe. It'll give me some more incentive to do these sorts of videos again. So this is a trailer from the E3 presentation, and if you've not seen it before, obviously I'm going to let it play. So if you're not already aware, this is going to be on the new Nintendo platform, which will be Nintendo Switch, which is an exciting thing in itself. It's always exciting to have a new platform coming out, especially for something like Nintendo, because I'm a big Nintendo buff. And then we have the Master Sword. So I'm just going to let this trailer play out for you guys, just because it's obviously got some audio in it as well.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
Tells me that you
I think that's a Deku tree from Ocarina of Time, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing.
Here it comes! You must save her, my daughter.
So that's it then guys, that's the trailer. All videos I will link in description below, so you can watch them in your own time if you'd like to, also so that I don't copyright any of them.
Open your eyes.
And that's the release date. Exciting times. Okay guys, here's some gameplay from the game. This is from IGN, as you can probably see in the hologram in the bottom right hand corner. Once again, obviously I'll link the video in description below. But basically, this is basically just a bit of a discussion about the gameplay. Now this kind of reminds me of a game called Shadow of the Colossus, which is on PS2, with the whole idea of, which basically is a game where you climb up these titans and slay them in a sensitive spot. And this is kind of a similar idea. Obviously it's climbing up this golem and attacking a sensitive spot, which seems to be kind of a trend with most Zelda games. There's a lot of bosses that involve attacking an eye, and there was quite a few in Ocarina of Time that work that way, and quite a few in Skyward Sword as well. And so I like the idea that they're bringing in some of the old mechanics as well. I mean, this game's been described as being a lot different compared to other Zelda games, but they still see some similarities, even just from the trailer. The type of music, the Master Sword's obviously in there as well. But this game to me seems a bit darker. I'm not sure why, especially with the trailer. There seems to be a lot more destruction, and even when Zelda's crying on Link's shoulder, even though obviously it's The Legend of Zelda and Link always tries to save Zelda, there's never really much emotion shown between them, and I think that's definitely signifies something. But the gameplay does seem rather similar just by looking at this. Although it has been suggested in many previous reviews and statements that this game is a lot different compared to normal Zelda games. To be honest, if I had to compare this Zelda game to any previous Legend of Zelda game, I would say I'd compare it to Twilight Princess, just by the look of the character and the fact that I found Twilight Princess kind of darker as well. So I believe it kind of relates to it in that sense. But then also it kind of links into Ocarina of Time. I said I saw the Deku Tree in the trailer, and also, so again, it kind of links to Ocarina of Time as well, which is quite an intriguing concept. Obviously, I'm hoping that, I mean, obviously I don't mind this because I've played a lot of the Legend of Zelda games, but imagine it, I'm not sure how difficult it would be for somebody who hasn't played any of the Legend of Zelda games to get into this game. I'm hoping that they can still enjoy it just as much whether they've played all the games or not, because imagine with the release of a new console they might be getting a new target audience maybe. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, obviously people like me that have played a lot of the other games will still enjoy it all the same, but I'm really hoping that people that haven't played them before can still enjoy it despite not having previous knowledge. Another concept of the game which I haven't discussed, which you might have seen just at the beginning of this clip, was the idea that Link can make recipes and cook food, which to me seems more like a survival type thing. So more like a player versus environment rather than... Well, obviously Legend of Zelda's never really been a PvP thing, it's been more enemies and survival. But yeah, but you probably know that I quite like survival games. Ark Survival Evolved being my favourite, and I also quite like the Long Dark as well. And so yeah, I quite like the sound of this, and also the fact that Link can take weapons from his enemies, like this Bokoblin and such and things like that. So, and I also like how he interacts with his environment as well. I mean, there's an example of all the weapons there. The fact that he used the axe to cut down the tree, I think that's a lovely touch, and again supporting the whole player versus environment concept of this game. Okay guys, here's just an insight into the food theory I've just been talking about. So he eats this energising mushroom skewer, which I imagine, I'd say, has a property. So I don't think it's survival in the sense that Link has to eat all the time so he doesn't die, but instead I think it's kind of replacing the potions, like the mana potions and the health potions. And one thing I didn't notice until now is in the bottom right hand corner where the map is, there's a little sound wave, a purple one, and that obviously the bigger the waves are, the louder Link is. Like as he runs through the grass, the waves become bigger, and I'm wondering whether that's because there's a sneaking mechanic with some of the enemies. Well, we saw before when he was killing those enemies that he performed a sneak strike, and obviously I imagine if he made too much noise the enemies would awake and he wouldn't have the advantage. So that's interesting. And love the idea that you can find all these different items as well. The fact that the items are indicated with question marks if you've never met them before. And just the variety, I think, as well. An aspect I like to challenge the game here is, as you can see, Link's followed by a wolf. And this wolf, again, this wolf reminds me so much of the wolf from Twilight Princess. As you can, I don't know if you can hear, probably can't hear it with my loud, annoying voice, but there's a chain tingle, I can't think of a word to describe it, but if you, I mean, there's a bit of a spoiler here. You know, obviously, if you don't want to listen to it, then, well, Link just died. But if you didn't want to listen to it, then obviously you can stop me now. But in Twilight Princess, Link basically turns into a wolf. You can probably get that from the title, and basically ends up in a prison, and he basically breaks free, but he still has the chain on his paw, if you like, but it still has part of the chain attached. So wherever Link moves with the wolf, you can still hear that little tingly is not really the right word. I can't think of another word to really describe it. The jingly noise, and that's from the wolf breaking out of the prison. So that wolf sounds pretty much identical to the wolf from Twilight Princess. So to me, with that and the Deku Tree, and also from the trailer, you could see the Zoras. Although, you know, even though they're themed red, which is not a Zora I'm familiar with, and the Gorons, they seem to bring in aspects from all the games, which I really like, and also the fact that they're bringing in the Deku Tree as well, and said you don't remember me from 100 years ago. Because that's from the beginning of Ocarina of Time, at the very, very start of the game. So I like the idea that they're bringing in all these bits from the previous games as well. And also, as you can see, there's a amiibo option. I'm not sure, I'm assuming that's how the wolf is summoned, maybe? Yes, there it is. And yes, it is the one from Twilight Princess, you can see with the hologram, which is what Midna used to use as well. So I love that feature because you can also use amiibos with the new Switch console. And I always love the fact that you can have a companion in video games. That's always one of the things I love. That's why that's why I love Ark so much with all the dinosaurs. I mean, I love dinosaurs and dragons anyway. That's just my kind of thing that I love. But I just love having companions in games. Same with things like Pokemon. I just love having companions, and Yoshi and Mario. It's just one of my many things that I love. And of course, Twilight Princess is one of my favourites as well. I'd say Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, my two favourite Legends of Zelda games, both on the Wii. Well, I've played them on the Wii anyway, they're obviously on other platforms. Going back to Skyward Sword, I really wish, obviously they're only allowed to release so much at the moment, but I really hope they allow us to have loft wings in this game, which is the birds that they use in Skyward Sword, because I think being able to fly around the loft wing outside of Skyward Sword would be an amazing thing, and I think that'd be really cool. And I think things like that I'd hope for this game. But obviously that shows that there'll be a Wolf Link in as an amiibo. And that is a lovely view of the map. I looked at some reviews on a website called trustedreviews.com, and I will put the link of the original review in the description, but I will quote from it a little bit. Basically, they mentioned the fact that this game, basically Link can explore any part of Hyrule at any time. So that basically means, because in a lot of the games, for example, and he just killed Wolf Link pretty much, they pretty much, like, parts of Ocarina of Time, for example, not Ocarina of Time, sorry, Twilight Princess, there was a part where you rode Epona through Hyrule Field, should I say, and you were bombarded by enemies, but you only saw that part as in that sort of depth when you played that part. But obviously, as I said, you were escaping enemies, so you couldn't freely explore it. And I like the idea of the fact that you can freely explore every single part whenever you want, because also in some parts of Legend of Zelda games, I've noticed, especially in temples, once you go through a certain area, it closes it off for whatever reason, whether it be obstacle or anything like that. It'll make it impossible for you to go any further. So I like the idea of the fact that all of it will be available to you throughout the game, especially like once you've completed the game but you still just want to have an explore. It'll be nice because it increases the game length as well. And here we see more of the player versus environment as well. And I find it really, and they said in the reviews as well that they find it really interesting on how you can weave the storyline, and Link's died again, how you can weave the storyline into free exploration. That's something that a lot of people want to investigate, and I think that would be a really exciting concept. And as I said before, it would be nice for end of gameplay, so it increases gameplay time, because basically increasing gameplay time is good. Seeing as most of these new games can retail at about 40 quid, you really want to play as much of it as you possibly can. And another thing they said in reviews was that the transition, because this game, as well as coming out on Nintendo Switch, also is going to be coming out on Wii U, which is obviously a platform that's out at the moment, and also Wii U play on a TV, whereas Switch, if you've seen a picture of it, has a portable screen with it. And many people, and on the reviews it has said that the transition from TV to Nintendo Switch for a game like this, there doesn't seem to be much difference, which is amazing, because I was thinking when I heard that it was coming on Wii U and a portable console, that there'll be some reduction in quality or some reduction in frame rate, which is, and he keeps hitting Wolf Link, that's not good, some reduction in frame rate or some reduction in quality, which is common for when you have games that are on a larger platform and then get reduced to a portable platform. But they apparently said there wasn't much difference, which is really good. from what I've heard from other people, the Nintendo Switch seems to have a decent amount of battery life, which is something that I guess concerned me a little bit in terms of using a portable console for a game that, in my opinion, would be designed for a non-portable console, i.e. the Wii or Wii U or whatever. So that's really good, and it also doesn't limit you to, because I know there's a lot of portable consoles, if you like, where you want to take them on a long train journey or a long car journey, but you can't because you know for a fact that it's going to go out of charge. You know, I can play my games on my laptop. I never take my laptop anywhere to really play the games because I know for a fact if I play a high intensity game, the laptop's going to die. So I really hope this Switch console wasn't going to be like that, especially since that the screen looks quite big. But it's good to know that it will last for a considerable amount of time, but obviously I imagine that would vary in terms of how intense the game actually is. But I like the fact that this Legend of Zelda, this game seems like it has a lot of problem solving in terms of the environment and the weapons that Link can use. For example, this tree to move the raft is a good example of that, and that's a really nice concept, and it's a good thing to have in a game because I love solving problems in games. I'm quite a big Tomb Raider fan as well, so I quite enjoy problem solving in games, as well as completing obviously the full mission. In terms of what the trustedreview.com people say in terms of the game, this kind of expands on what I've said before regarding the trailer, but they basically stated this is a post-apocalyptic Hyrule, which is what I gathered with the spawning of the enemies, the darkness, the emotion between the characters. That's I kind of got that sense and kind of got that jive with it. And in terms of which game I believe the apocalypse has come from, I mean, if I had to take a stab at it, I'd probably guess Twilight Princess, just by the links of the links. See what I did there? The links between the Wolf Link and whatnot. I mean, saying that though, it's been a while since I've played any of the big Legend of Zelda games. I am replaying Ocarina of Time at the moment on the 3DS, but by replaying I mean I haven't played it since I was 7 on the Nintendo 64, so it's been a long time, so I can't really quote any potential apocalyptic events that could have stemmed from that, but that's the only other Legend of Zelda game I think that it could possibly link with that, and that's again with the Deku Tree right at the beginning of the trailer. So in terms of other games, I mean I had the pleasure of playing the Triforce Heroes at EGX convention about just over 18 months ago, and that was really good, but obviously that in no way links to this sort of game. But obviously this is the newest game that's, I mean, obviously there's been remakes of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time and A Link Between Worlds, but in terms, this is obviously like the newest game I've played. This is the newest game that's come out since then, and just to look at the combat here, it's nice how I love the actions of the amiibo Wolf Link. That's really cool, and I also love the finishing moves, if you like. And also we saw there that Link's weapon broke, and that's another feature that I failed to mention previously. The fact that different weapons have different durabilities. That concept's kind of been used before in Ocarina of Time with the Deku sticks that you get grabbed at the beginning of the game. I'm talking before you got given the before you get the very, very beginning sword as the child Link. And I imagine the more you progress through the game, the more durable the weapons will be, and I imagine eventually I'm assuming you'll reach an optimum where you'll get the Master Sword, and I'm assuming, seeing as it's the Master Sword, it's not going to break after 3 uses. But I always like the fact that Link can use two-handed weapons. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway. The fact that it kind of reminds me of Skyrim, even though it's completely unrelated Nintendo and Legend of Zelda whatsoever, you know, but it kind of links it a little bit, and I quite like how there's a variety of ways in which Link can use weapons. I think that's something that needed updating, because obviously a lot of older games, obviously there's been remakes, and obviously they remake them to be like the older games, but it's always been a shield and a sword, block with the shield, hit with a sword. It's always been the same kind of mechanics with it, and it's nice that they can shake it up a little bit. And I also see that bomb flowers have also been upgraded to barrels, but you know, but there we go. And from this little bit of text here, I assume there's a trial. We seem to like trials in these new games, you know, from Pokemon Sun and Moon and all that kind of stuff. They seem to like using trials. So as you can see here is a bit of, this game seems to be more modern, which kind of makes sense with the whole this is 100 years later kind of gist of things, and obviously that fits in. Although I have seen similar things to this in, again, it's very Twilight Princess looking with the random unencrypted writing. It just seems very, very similar to that. And this game seems to include a lot of elemental kind of things, and like for example here we're going to use like an ice type ability, but even when using an ice type ability, which is obviously going back to basics, going back to prehistoric things, it seems very modern, especially when Link's trying to place the ice block. It seems very, although we do have very old Zelda tunes, which is very nice, it seems to be very, like this bit seems to be very, very modern, which is definitely interesting. In terms of what I want for this game, I just want this to be like the best Legend of Zelda game that's ever been made, because whenever you have a new game in a big franchise series, you always want it to be the best. And to be fair, that's been following suit this year. I mean, well, within the past 6 months, you know, the new Pokemon Sun and Moon game to me is probably one of the best Pokemon games I've ever played, which I honestly didn't think it would be, but in my opinion, now I've played it, it is. So I'm really hoping that Legend of Zelda will follow suit, seeing as Pokemon and Legend of Zelda are like my 2 favourite franchises ever. So that's kind of what I want really, and I think just to get more of an insight in this story, because it intrigues me, and see whether it does actually link in, again using the link references, but whether it does link in between previous games or whether it's a complete standalone. In a way, I kind of want it to be a standalone, but I think going what the trailer says, I don't think it's going to be. But not that it's a majorly bad thing, I'm not overly fussed, but obviously I want other people to enjoy it. I mean, I'll enjoy it regardless, but obviously in a way I want more people to enjoy it and get into the franchise, and obviously I think they'll enjoy it less if it's linked in with previous games and they've got no idea what the game is on about. So yes, I think that all really ties in with that. I think that's really tied it in all together. So if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and comment on what your thoughts are on this game, because I really like to hear what everyone else has to say about it. And if this gets enough views or enough interest, I might even do more discussion videos. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and good night.